Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I'm here hopping along with Reverse Confetti, and the theme is to colour me mine. Now I'm going to use this flower set which is called Build a Bunch, and it has lots of really beautiful flowers in it, and you can really build a bunch of flowers. And the colour me mine theme is to colour with some of your favourite colours, and I've chosen one of the design papers out of the Under the Umbrella paper pad, which kind of has this retro feel about it. So I'm going to keep my flowers fairly simple and use these retro colours and create kind of a really, I don't know, like a florally scene, but it's not in my usual colour tones, but it was a lot of fun. These two colours together in this paper pad just really grabbed my eye from the second I saw them. And I love the design in the paper as well. It's really pretty. So I've stamped out all my flowers, just a whole lot of them, because I don't have any, concrete plan here. I'm just thought I'd stamp them out, colour them up, and then create a bouquet. And that's what I love about flowers. You can do as little or as much as you want with them. But like I said, I am going to kind of keep it fairly simple because I think that sort of goes with that retro feel. Alright, I'll be back when all of the colouring is done. So I have the matching dies for this set, and I haven't separated them all yet, but I did decide to. Sometimes I don't separate all my dies, but this style of die is one of the ones that I would recommend to get because they can serve a dual purpose. You can actually use these floral dies and leaves either independently or with the stamps, and that's what I like. I really like that about these dies, and when I'm looking at purchasing dies, that's one thing I'll often look at. Can I use it for something else rather than just for that one particular stamp? And that will always tick a box for me if I can use it for a dual purpose. Did you see that flower up in the left corner? I end up just going over it with red. It's a really daggy flower. I didn't like the way I coloured it. I chose the wrong sort of base colour initially, and I just couldn't save it. So I didn't even bother die cutting it out. In retrospect, I would have loved to have done it in the R22. It would have been really pretty in amongst all these sort of retro colours. So what I'm going to do here is some die cutting. I want to make my own panel. I'm going to partially die cut. This is one of the pierced round top layers. It's the third largest, and I'm using my normal cutting sandwich. I have got the magnetic plate with the base plate, my die with the cutting side up, cardstock on top, and then I'm actually just lying my second plate up to where I put that mark on my cardstock. That way it's only going to cut to where the top plate sat. You'll see what I mean here. When I remove the paper, it actually hasn't cut the whole die out, it didn't cut the base. I'm just working out how big I want my little panel to be on the front of my card, and I just do that by eyeballing it on the top of my card front. Then I can just wiggle the die around till I feel it slip into place where the die cut has already cut the cardstock, and then I'm going to hold it in place again with the tape and do exactly the same thing. This time I cut it with the cutting side down. I don't normally use my cutting machine this way. I find it warps the bottom plate too much, and then the dies don't stick to the plate if it's warped. So that's why I tend to cut the other way mostly. And there you are. I have a die cut panel with the pierced border. My sentiment today, it comes from the Banner in Bloom set, and I've got some grey ink that sort of matches the grey cardstock panel that I've got, and which is very similar to the grey that's in the retro design paper. I've cut down my design paper to fit the front of my card, adding some ATG adhesive and just adhering that to the top of my card front. For my panel, my grey panel that I die cut, I did actually pop that up on some fun foam, but I also, because it's not a thick cardstock, I also did add a piece of card, just scrap cardstock beneath it to give it some extra support, and then adhered that to the front of my card with some ATG again. Now it's time to fuss around with my bouquet and sentiment. I am going to use like a variety of tape and pop dots. And I don't know if you're like me, but I do have to fuss around with my bouquets and flowers and leaves heaps until I'm happy with how they look on my design. And I'm happy to do that. That's actually part of the fun and getting it just right. I did also add just a little bit of bling to the center of these flowers. I thought it just helped lift them off the design. Thanks for joining me today. I've had heaps of fun. You can find all the products that I've used listed below, and also the link to my blog post where you can find heaps more inspiration from the other team members from Reverse Confetti. So till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.